Children, in this video, we are going to study about one representative plant of bryophytes, that is Marchantia. This Marchantia, it belongs to the class Hepaticopsida. Already we have studied Hepaticopsida. There is a class of bryophyte which consists of the simplest form of bryophytes. Order is Marchantiales, family Marchantiaceae, genus Marchantia. Marchantia, they also grow in the cool, moist, shady places. The common species of Marchantia is Marchantia polymorpha. Now, as we know, in the life cycle of bryophytes, gametophytic phase is the dominant phase. So, gametophyte, the plant body of Marchantia is a gametophyte. It is a gamete producing body. It is prostrate, dorsiventral. Dorsiventral means it has both upper and the lower side, and dichotomously branched. It shows branchings. Okay. The thallus on the dorsal surface, they possess conspicuous median midrib which is marked by a shallow groove on dorsal surface. That is, in the dorsal surface of the thallus we can find there is a small groove. Groove means a depression, a small depression is present there. That is said to be the midrib. That is said to be the median midrib. The dorsal surface appears to have rhomboidal or polygonal diamond shaped areas which indicate the outline of the underlying air chambers of the thallus. So here you can find in the dorsal surface the air chambers are also present there. The dorsal surface, they shows crescent shaped structures. They are called as the gemma cups, which contain vegetative reproductive structures. They are called the gemma. On the dorsal surface you can find some cup like structures. They are called as the gemma cups, which is a means of vegetative reproduction. These gemma cups, they contains the gemma. The apical notch bears on the apical cell which helps in the growth of the thallus. So here the tip of the thallus, there are apical notches are present there which has the apical cell, and they also help in the vegetative reproduction. That is, they help in the development of the new thallus. The ventral surface of the thallus, they bears multicellular scales and rhizoids which helps in the fixation and absorption of the water and minerals. So in the, as we have studied the thallus of Marchantia, they are dorsiventral. That is, it has dorsal side and the ventral side. In the dorsal side we studied it has the median midrib is present there, gemma cups are present there. In the ventral side, in the margins you can find the scales are present there, and towards the center we can find rhizoids are present there. These rhizoids, they help in the fixation and absorption of water and minerals. These rhizoids, they are of two types, either they are smooth walled or they are pegged type. On maturation, the thallus bears erect antheriophores and arachnophores. So here, when this thallus they get matures, so they each thallus they produce their separate gamete producing structures. They are called as the antheriophores or the arachnophores. So here you can see in this diagram figure 2.12, that is the two separate thallus is given there. A is a male thallus. In there, on from the thallus erect structure is arising, that is the gametophore, or since this gametophore is bearing the antheridium, the male reproductive structure, this stalk is called as antheridiophore. Okay, now in this thallus you can see below the rhizoids, you can see the diagram labeled rhizoids, and the gemma also you can find here. So this thallus, they contain the male reproductive structures. So the antheridiophore, they contains the antheridium, the male reproductive organ. Similarly, in the B diagram you can find the thallus is given there. From there also erect gametophore is arising. This gametophore is bearing the archegonium. So this gametophore is called as arachnophores. Okay. So here you can find the thallus. There are two different thallus are there. The male thallus will be having the male reproductive organ. The female thallus having the female reproductive organ. Next, internal structure of the thallus. In transverse section, if we take a thin section of Marchantia and observe it under the microscope, we can find three regions. They are the epidermis, the photosynthetic region, and the storage region. So here just we can see first the diagram, then we'll read the explanation here. Now this is the TS of the thallus is given there. TS means a transverse section of the thallus given here. So here you can see that is it has two epidermis. The upper epidermis, the blue color cells that represents the epidermis, upper epidermis. So that is the upper epidermis is present and the lower epidermis is present. The upper epidermis is interrupted. It is not a continuous layer. There are small pores are present there. Okay, so they are the air pores. Below this epidermis, there are air chambers are present. So these epidermal cells they extend and they come and to the base of the tissue, and they divide this region. The dorsal surface they divide into air chambers. Okay, now inside each air chambers you can find there are certain vertical rows of cells are present, which are some branched also. So they contain the photosynthetic pigments. As a result, these cells they are green in color. Now between these rows of photosynthetic pigments only the reproductive structures, the antheridium or the archegonium, they are arranged. Okay, so here it is not shown in this diagram, but you can understand here the reproductive structures, the antheridium and the archegonium, they are formed between these filamentous structures. Now as we have studied in this photosynthetic filaments only, the process of photosynthesis is taking place. Now this below this region is present the storage region. The storage region is fully made up of parenchymatous cells without any intercellular space. So the food prepared here, they are stored in this they are stored in the storage region in the form of the starch. Now below this storage region, you can find numerous rhizoids are there, and scales you can see from the margins of the thallus. And these rhizoids, they are either they are smooth walled rhizoids or they are pegged walled rhizoids. So this is the TS of the thallus, or the internal structure of the thallus is revealed by this TS. So let's see the explanation here. So here the epidermis has the upper and the lower layer, as we already studied in the TS of the thallus. Upper and the lower epidermis is present there. The upper epidermis is single layered with thin walled parenchymatous cells. The cells possess chloroplasts. The upper epidermis is interrupted by many barrel-shaped air pores which communicate with the air chambers. The pore is surrounded by 4 to 8 superimposed tiers of cells. Below the upper epidermis, a number of air chambers are present in a single horizontal layer. The air chambers are separated from one another by partition which extend from the epidermis. Already we studied this horizontal epidermal cells. Some cells they extend vertically downwards to the base, and they divides the dorsal region into small air chambers. The floor of the chambers, they bear simple or branched green filaments. The cells of the filaments are involved in photosynthesis. The photosynthetic region is followed by the storage region. So below the photosynthetic region present the storage region. It is made up of several parenchymatous cells arranged without intercellular space. The cells of the region, they contain starch grains and protein granules. The lower epidermis, they contain rhizoids and the multicellular scales. So already we studied the TS of the Markensia thallus we studied. Next we are going to study about the reproduction. Markensia, they reproduce both vegetatively as well as sexual method. So we have studied different methods of vegetative reproduction in the bryophytes. So vegetative reproduction takes place by progressive death and decay of the thallus. So one method is as the thallus they become matures and they old, they start dying. From this dying thallus, new thallus they originate. Next, formation of the adventitious branches. Next, in the lower side of the thallus, some adventitious branches they arise. These adventitious branches also they detach from the parent plant and they give rise to the new thallus. Next is by the germination of the gemma. So already we studied in the dorsal side there are some cup-like structures are present there. They are called gemma. Inside that the gemma cups are there. Inside that the gemma cups, the gemma is present. They germinate and give rise to the new thallus. So death and decay of the thallus starts from the posterior. So as we studied, as the thallus get mature, they start decaying. So that decaying starts from the posterior, from the lower region. It starts towards the apical region. Okay, so here it reaches the point of the dichotomy, so where the dichotomous branching is there, when this decaying reaches to the dichotomic region, the two apical parts they detach and the thallus gets separated, and each one will develop into an independent thallus. Next, adventitious branches are produced on the ventral surface of the gametophyte. So here on the lower side you can find some adventitious branches are there. These branches also they get separated from the parent thallus and they grow into independent gametophytes. Next is the gemma. Gemma are the specialized multicellular asexual reproductive bodies. They are formed in the small cupules known as the gemma cups. Cupules means cup-like structures. So here this gemma they are formed in a small cup-like structures. They are called the gemma cups. Okay, they are formed in the small cupules known as the gemma cups. They are present in the dorsal surface of the thallus. Usually the gemma are present in the male thallus, they will form the male plants, and those on the female thallus will give rise to the female plants. So here you can see the diagram of the gemma cup is given here, the vertical section is given here. So this is the gemma cups which has the gemma. These gemma, one gemma is shown in the enlarged, that is the will have a stalk, the notch region is present there, the oil cells are present. When this gemma they detach and they germinate, they will give rise to the new plant body. Next, you are going to study about the sexual reproduction. Marking on the special stalked receptacles called the gametophore. Already we studied. Here the antheridium and the archegonium are the reproductive structures. They are formed on a specialized stalk. They are called as the gametophores. So the gametophore which is bearing the antheridia, they are called as antheridiophores, and the archegonia bearing structures they are called as the Markensia is heterothallic or dioecious. So as we studied this Markensia thallus, they are heterothallic or dioecious, that is they are having two different thallus, male thallus and the female thallus. So that is the based on the presence of the reproductive organs. So in the thallus which is having the antheridia, they are called as the male thallus, and those having the archegonia, they are called as the female thallus. Since the male and the female male reproductive organ and the female reproductive organ are present separately, this is called as dioecious. So here Markensia is heterothallic or dioecious, that is male and female receptacles are present on different thalli. The sex organs in bryophytes are multicellular. The male sex organ is called as antheridium. It produces biflagellate antherozoites. So as we studied, the male reproductive organ is called the antheridium. It produces the male gamete called the antherozoites. These antherozoites they are biflagellate. Two flagellas are present. The female sex organ is flask shaped and they call the archegonium and produce a single egg. Okay, so here you can see the diagram here of the this LS of antheridiophore. First you can see here. So here the stalk which is having the bearing the male reproductive organ, that is called as the antheridiophores, and you can see between the photosynthetic pigments antheridiums are present. Okay, this antheridium they contains the male gametes, numerous male gametes they contain. In the next diagram you can find the LS of archegoniophore. So here you can find in this again between the photosynthetic pigments you can find this uh, uh, stalk which is having the female reproductive organ archegonium. So here you can find this archegonium, they are flask shaped structures, they have a broad base and with the narrow neck region. Okay, so this is the structure of the archegonium. Okay, so archegonium they are flask shape. So here next you can see sorry here you can see the this fertilization. So anthrozoids are released into the water. So as we have studied here, for the completion of the life cycle in the bryophytes, they depend on the water, because these anthrozoids they have to swim in the water and they have to reach to the neck of the archegonium. So the anthrozoids are released into the water and they are attracted towards the archegonium through a chemotaxis. So here these anthrozoids are released from the antheridium and they swim in the water, they float in the water. Here this archegonium, the egg they secretes a chemical stimulus. So here these anthrozoids they are attracted by these chemical stimulus that is called the chemotaxis, and they move towards the uh, neck region of the archegonium, and only one antherozoid will fuse with the egg, and they will form the zygote. The zygote represents the first cell of the sporophyte generation. The zygote develops into a multicellular structure that is called the sporophyte. Already we have studied this. So here the male gamete antherozoids will fuse with the female gamete egg, and they will produce a diploid structure that is called the sporophyte. The sporophyte is a diploid structure. So next we have studied the sporophyte is not free living, but it is attached to the photosynthetic gametophyte. So here the sporophyte is completely dependent on this gametophyte, and they derives the nutrition from the gametophyte. The sporophyte is differentiated, already we studied, differentiated into three regions: foot, seta and capsule. You can see in this diagram here. So here this is the sporophyte, Markensia sporophyte. You can see the base is broad bulbous structure, the foot. Next we have a small seta is present there, and the seta is connected to a capsule. This capsule is containing numerous haploid spores are present inside it. Along with that, elaters are present there. Okay, so here, and this capsules are protected by a specialized structure that is called as the calyptra. So here you can see here the foot is bulbous and is embedded in the gametophyte. It derives nutrition from the gametophyte and transfers to the sporophyte. So function of the foot is to absorb nutrition from the gametophyte and transfer to the sporophyte. Seta is short and connects foot and capsule. The capsule consists of single layered jacket. So this capsule is protected by a single layer, protective layer, that is called the jacket, and encloses numerous haploid spores and elaters. The capsule is covered by a protective covering called the calyptra. On maturation, the capsule dehisces and spores are released. Elaters help in the dispersal of spores. As we know, these elaters, they are hygroscopic, they absorbs the water. Okay, and they will help in the dehiscence of this capsule, and the spores are being dispersed. The spores under favorable condition, they germinate and develop into the new gametophyte. The haploid gametophytic phase alternates with the diploid sporophytic phase. So here, as we studied, the gametophyte only, the sporophyte starts, and the sporophytes on germination, they will again give rise to the gametophyte. So here what is happening, the life cycle of Markensia, gametophytic phase alternates with the diploid sporophytic phase. Thus the life cycle of Markensia, we say that is alternation on generation is present here. Now you can see the life cycle of Markensia here, the diagrammatic. So here we have studied in the life cycle of Markensia, vegetative reproduction is there as well as the sexual reproduction. So vegetative reproduction we have studied can take place by the adventitious branches or by the gemma formation or by fragmentation. Next is here the sexual reproduction we have studied. The Markensia, they are dioecious, that is they have male thallus and the female thallus. The male thallus will give rise to the anthridiophore. The anthridiophore will contains the antheridia, which produce the male gamete antherozoids. Similarly, the female thallus, they contain the archeniophores. Archeniophores, they archegoniophores, they contain the archegonium. This archegonium, they produce the male gamete egg. This egg and the antherozoid, they fuse together. On fertilization, they produce the oospores or the zygote is formed there. They are diploid in nature. This oospores, they will go mitotic division and they will form a multicellular condition, that is the embryo, multicellular undifferentiated embryo is formed there. This embryo, they will form the sporogonium, that is a spore bearing body which contains the spore mother cells. The spore mother cells will undergo meiosis. So here from the oospore to the spore mother cell is the diploid condition. Now after the meiosis, what will happen, they will produce haploid spores are produced there. So 4 haploid spores are produced. They on germination, they will give rise to the another thallus depending on the type of germ tube they produce. So here this is the life cycle of the Markensia. Hope you have understood this topic. Thank you, children.